Happy New Year, everyone. My mind is blown that we are yet in another year that approached far too quickly, but here we are, 2023. So, if you follow me over on Instagram, or if you're aware of my account over there, maybe you have seen that I chose the Common Planner for 2023. The Common Planner is a brand new planner that just came out this year by Catherine over at Sterling Ink on Instagram, and the planner's amazing. It's great. It's beautiful. She structured it loosely after the Hobonichi Cousin, which that is an A5. She scaled it down to make the Common Planner a B6, and it's a lovely planner. I won't go into all of the details of the planner. I have a previous video that goes into that, and there's multiple videos out now that review the planner and kind of go over each detail, but I wanted to talk about my decision for 2023. And a lot of people kind of go back and forth between, the Hobonichi or their regular planner, and then they find a new one and it's complete planner chaos in our heads. And I just wanted to go over what I'm doing and why I've chosen to do what I'm doing. So the immediate reason for choosing the 2023 Common Planner over the Hobonichi was the size. It scaled down. This thing in my hands is such a huge difference. Let me pull this A5 down for reference. I mean, huge difference. And when I'm carrying this, it didn't seem to be that big of a bother, but when I carry this, the difference is very noticeable. This is much easier to throw in any bag. It just feels better in my hands to carry something smaller. And so that was really the number one deciding factor. But the next factor, which a lot of you, if you do know me over on Instagram, heard my rant about the paper. This is Tomoe River paper, as is the Hobonichi, but this is the newer produced paper. I was educated very quickly when I started ranting about this isn't the same, I don't like it, it's supposed to be the same. Well, I guess Tomoe River paper, the original owners, they sold their company and it's now under production of a new owner, and they've changed it. I personally don't like the change. I like the old paper in the Hobonichi Cousin. That's a personal preference, but I went on and on about it, and that was going to actually kill this deal for me. However, I decided to start using the notebook in full to get a very to be able to really fully tell without just prejudging it. I decided I needed to fully use it. So I dove into this in December and used it for a full month. The weeklies don't start until the last week of December, starting January. So I wasn't able to fully use the weeks, but I did use the daily pages back here for a month. And as I used it, I realized my pen, which I use, I'm sorry, my air just turned on, so it's kind of loud, but I use a Jetstream, Uniball Jetstream. This is the F series, so it's the same pen that comes with the Hobonichi products, but in, I guess, a sleeker, prettier barrel, but it's the same ink. So I started using it and realized that my pen had more control on this paper, and this specific pen wasn't skipping at all, which it does do in the Hobonichi often enough to make me lose my crap sometimes. Not often enough for me to hate it and turn away, but often enough for me to know that it was an issue I hated. But on this paper, I didn't get any of that. Maybe once, and I'm assuming that possibly I had erased something or gotten, maybe oils or lotion on the paper, something, because this pen has not skipped. on this paper. And this Tomoe River paper feels far more like Stalogy paper, which was my biggest issue. The ghosting is so much more on this paper, and it doesn't carry inks as well, in my opinion. But the good thing about that is I don't use a lot of other inks. I am a one pen person. I want this on the go with me. I don't carry a ton with me unless it's the weekend and I'm carving out time to sit down and do something specific. But on the daily, I am not carrying supplies around. So my deciding factor was really the size of this and then the pen control. Catherine did a great job at the structure of the planner, and there's some little extras in here like the goal planning, which I laid out a few things. I made these first couple of pages my index for the daily pages, which is perfect because these pages are numbered, and so I'm just placing the page number here and then what it is that I did on that page. I don't index every page, just the ones that I want to stand out. Up front, the calendar, I started using it as just pay dates, and regretted this color choice immediately. Even though I love the color, I'm not loving it here. I did the same thing with the quarterly pages. I ended up not really caring for what I did in there, but that's okay. I don't really intend to use this fully. So anyways, okay, here's where we get a little like, what the hell am I doing? As I was using it in December, it worked great. So I used the pages fully. Okay, so I'll show you how I kind of the way I do most of my planning. I always have home or personal tasks and work tasks. I separate them, and I generally always have a weekly master task list. So I will take the first 2 pages of any week, and this is where I just get everything out of my head that I know I need to do that week. I'm a huge Post-it sticky person. I need other things to pop out to me, or quick notes that I know I don't need to stay permanently. So I generally have a lot of sticky notes in my planners. So this is my master task list, one for home, one for work. And then I just jumped right into creating daily pages. They're very minimal, which is very much my style. And when I try and do extra, it generally doesn't work out so well with me. I do some color coding, but anyway, these are my daily pages. I wrote a quick schedule over to the left. I do tasks on the right. Depending on what my day looks like, sometimes there's, it's full of work tasks and then home tasks down here. I do some micro journaling when something pops up. But this is the gist of a daily page. This is the beginning of another week. So here's a master task list. Personal, work. I do put the what the page is over on the side, so I can do a very quick reference as I flip through this way or this way. You can see. And then here I've dated this master task list is going from 12/12 through 12/25, and that's how I know this, what these pages cover, the dates these pages cover. Because this planner didn't start the weeklies in December, I created this just to see how I was going to really utilize those weekly pages. Maybe I was going to switch it up from what I used to do in the Hobonichi. I didn't know. So I did this, some journaling in there, back to dailies and some journaling. I'm not a journaler. I'm a micro journaler. I do highlights and quick snippets of my day, but I am not one to sit down and journal a whole page of everything I did in the day. I just don't do that. But this is, grocery list, Christmas reminders, and then I did another weekly and used it how I generally did in the Hobonichi, which was actually scheduling things out. And then if there's kind of some white space, I'll add to it. But this really is the gist of what my daily pages look like. When I do microjournal, I tag the corner with a little symbol. It's a little heart. So I can also quick reference, you know, if I'm flipping through, I can see those journaling pages. And then I know there's something on there that I might want to go back and read. Here's another weekly master task list. And then I think this is coming up on the end of the year, my 2023 intentions and some planning reminders, how I want to go about my, you know, what do I do monthly, weekly, and daily to remind me what to go back and look at and where to pull things from. My 2022 reflections and some more 2023 intentions. And then we start January. And this is Sterling Inks calendar. I just printed on vellum and then I placed a piece of cardstock behind it to give it a little more. But her work is beautiful. And then for a monthly, I do like a 1 line a day that just kind of highlights what stuck out that day. And here we are in this last week, master task list, which was a very slow week because it was just getting back to work and it was a short week for us and there just wasn't a ton going on, thank the high heavens. My water heater went out on Christmas Eve and I have been having water problems since, so that's fun. Anyway, okay, so here we are. This is an inside joke with my friend. That's the end. So here's where today would be. Okay, so let me go into why I could not get away from the Hobonichi and ended up quickly ordering this on the 6th. Today's the 8th, so I'm talking like 2 days ago I ordered it and it was same day delivery and I was like, I can't not go back to the Hobonichi. This planner has my heart and has for years, and the common planner was working and it was just totally fine, but every single day I was missing the Hobonichi. And so then I would see other people posting their Hobonichis and I just couldn't stop wishing I had my Hobonichi. So I was like, this is crazy. Why am I tormenting myself? But I don't do I cannot use 2 planners for functional planning. It's not in me to be able to work that way. So I knew one of them wasn't, it was going to go to waste, you know? So, I am trying to work out what I'm going to do with the common planner because there's not a chance I can get rid of it. It's a beautiful notebook. I'm going to utilize it somehow, whether it is, you know, extra journaling or I have no idea. I really jumped back into this thing so quickly, did some backlogging and just can't figure out what to do with the common planner. I do have a couple of ideas that I'm going to have to just work out. It's not going to go to waste. I do love it. I'm actually very sad that I can't use, I have probably 3 or 4 B6 size planner covers and I was so stoked to be able to use them all. And so I'm using this thing. I'm using it whether it is on a daily basis, a monthly, quarterly, or whatever. I'm using it because I want to. But my heart belongs with Hobonichi. And as simple and minimal as the common planner is, which I absolutely love because I am a minimal planner, I want function over beauty, and that's, you know, she actually captured both in one. It's beautiful, but I actually miss the character of the Hobonichi cousin. And a lot of people don't really care for the color that stands out on these, but I realized without it, I missed it. I like the way they're their character pops out on the pages. I like it. It just works better for me. And in the end, guys, this paper is where it's at. I flipped through my old Hobonichis and the old worn used pages, okay? Not just this new paper, which is also just awesome, but the old worn pages that have been flipped through so many times, and I just can't get away from it. So yes, I am back in the Hobonichi and figuring out what exactly. I think I'm gonna have to stick with my schedule up here on the weeklies, which, I had just started it this week. So I generally put my schedule down here, actual scheduled time, events, appointments, meetings, calls, anything that actually has a time stamp on it that I need to be aware of goes in my weeklies. And then when there's extra, I will add little bits of micro journaling if there's white space. I've cooked twice this year, guys. On a side note, I cooked goulash and a garlic parmesan chicken pasta, both this last week. I don't cook, so yes, that's a thing. I documented that, and both turned out really, really good. Now, don't try and get me all like marinating and sauteing and being in the kitchen for hours, but these were very simple. So I was kind of proud of myself on that. And then I rewrote out my 2022 reflections and intentions because I want those in here. I'm also going to add my my other intentions page, this one. I'll also be putting that back in here because this is one of my very favorite pages that I do each year. I know I can, and then I list out things that I just, without a doubt, I can do. I will do my best to, and then I hope to. And I list those things out, giving myself grace. They're not goals, resolutions, hard stop things. They're just my good intentions, which is kind of how I live my life. Over on this side, I actually really like this, and we'll probably recreate that here. These are my planning reminders, how I get what I do with my month, weekly, and daily, just to remind me like what to put my eyes on. And then that's it. I kept the little piece of new Tomoe River paper that the Hobonichi is going to be utilizing starting 2024. This is still very different from this paper here. So I don't know, and in my rant on Instagram, I kept saying like maybe Hobonichi's contracted with the company that makes Tomoe River paper, and they have a completely different formula. I don't know if it's called formula to make paper. I don't know. But I feel like they're contracted to make very specific paper, and everyone else that gets the new Tomoe River paper is just, it's different. It's different. So anyway, I will probably use this as a little tester, maybe swatch some inks, and I will likely fill this thing up, but I wanted to keep that in. And then I just wrote about why I jumped into this thing, and then I just jumped right into my dailies and backfilled this. So there's that. I mean, I have my reasons, guys. I do. I never felt such planner chaos in my life. When I watch people go through their mid-year planner crises or end-of-year, meltdowns, I'm not one of those people. I just grab my popcorn and sit back and watch others go through it. But this year I was a part of it, and I'm glad I finally came to like where I'm at now. This cover is actually a new cover. It is a Moterm in their full grain leather black, which I have been wanting just a black cover for a little while, so I went ahead and got that for myself. This cover, so I should just go into this for a second because I do get quite a few people asking me about the Galen leather covers, which if you are on Instagram with me, this is my love. This company is my go-to for my covers. I do have others, but I just have a lot of them. So anyway, this is the zipper folio. This is B6, and I've had questions about this and the common planner, specifically fitting. It fits just fine. And there is some room. I stacked some pens over here, and it closed. It was an incredibly tight fit, so I don't even recommend doing that because it would start pulling at the seams. Even though this is incredibly well made, it would start probably stretching things. But the point is, it fits just fine, and there is room for your planner to chunk out just a bit. It's not super roomy. It's not going to allow you to probably, those of you that, I mean, go full force and with deco and your notebooks look twice the size at the end of the year, I don't know that this planner is going to give you that. But I do have, let's see, they have their slim covers, which I believe will give you extra room. Can we just see this real quick? I was given this notepad for Christmas by a coworker, and it says other people's problems that I for some reason have to solve. That is my every stinking day. That is what I do, is solve other people's problems. So here's this, and the slim cover is more forgiving than the zipper, right? You don't have the restriction of the zipper holding everything together. So I do think you could chunk things out in the slim cover. These do not come with closures though. So what I do with mine is I just use an elastic here. And I know some people don't like that because it's not attached and you have to kind of keep track of it every time you remove it, but it works so well for me. I have no problems with it at all. Well, that just took longer than it needed to, only because you're watching. But anyway, this slim cover would be a great option. And then in addition to that, I will show you real quick, since we're at it, this is the Moterm full grain veg tan leather in B6. This is, I believe, their honey. Shoot. I cut their bookmarks out. I'm so sorry if that offends. I'm not sorry if that offends you because it's a personal choice. I don't really care for them. The black one has it too, and I ended up tucking them back here, but I will probably end up cutting them out because I don't use them. So this is the Moterm veg tan cover, and I absolutely adore this thing. I love it so much, and there is room in this thing for your planner to grow. I'm not a huge fan of the back pocket, but it's there, so why complain about it now? But just the filling of this leather, the look of this leather, it's such a well-made cover, and the price point, you absolutely cannot beat the price point on Galen leather or Moterm. Okay, there's some incredibly pricey planner covers out there, and I'm talking Gillio and Vanderspek, and people are paying, I don't even know, it's crazy. I look at those prices, I'm like, people are paying $300 to $500, $600. I don't even know, but it's not something I'm gonna do because there's other options out there that are so beautiful. And I have listened to people compare Moterm specifically to those other covers, Gillio and Vanderspek, and they come back and say this is such an incredible option. So in my opinion, it's not worth it for me to spend that money on the name when I know I can have the quality here. Eternal Leather Goods is one that I actually go back to quite often. I don't have any of them, but those do call out to me. And those are less expensive than the Gillio and the Vanderspek, but more expensive than these. So I feel like it's a middle ground. You know, I was looking at an A5 and it was going to be $200 and something. But even that, to me, I'm like, shoot, I don't know if I'll ever do it, but these work. And so at the price point, I would very much recommend looking into both of these, Moterm and Galen leather, because I have yet to see anything for the quality you're getting for these for this price point. And I don't know many people, I don't know anyone that's been disappointed in these products. If they're out there, I'm not hearing from them. Everyone's like, yes, I'm so glad I ordered this. So those are the options. But look at this. These are both Moterms. Look at the size difference. A5 to B6. This is so much more portable, but this one has my heart. So there it is. Now you know. And I didn't even want to post it because I had made my decision, and then coming back and with my tail between my legs was, you know, sad, but it is what it is, and I'm happy to have both. I will figure this one out. I will give it a purpose, and it will be something beautiful for this year. Anyway, I hope you all have a great start to 2023, and I will see you next time.